Professor Ashwini Gupta of University of Maryland to please come and start the proceedings of the workshop. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Everybody is up and awake, and welcome to the 7th International Conference on Energy, Environment and Sustainability. As you see, we have a record number of attendees, and we'll do the opening ceremony. But before I do that, I invite our distinguished guests, chief guests, on the head table. Same order. First is Chief Guest Dr. R.N. Mishra. He's the Additional Director General of RDSO. So please come forward to the front table here. Now I'd like to invite our guest of honor, Professor A.K. Chaturvedi. He's the Deputy Director of IIT Kanpur. Dr. Akshay Ranchal, he is the President of ISEES. Dr. Ashok Pandey, he is the Vice President of ISEES and also the Editor-in-Chief of the New Journal. Dr. Avinash Kumar Agarwal, he is the Organizer and Secretary of ISEES. And Dr. Anurag Gautam, he's the organizer of the workshop. So before I start, I'd like to give a deep appreciation to Dr. Anurag, who's done a lion's share of the work to make this thing happen. So thank you, Anurag, and thank you everybody in the head table. Now I'd like to invite, we do the lighting up ceremony. Do we all stand up? So now we do the floral welcome. We can all now say happy birthday to 7th International Conference Workshop on Sustainable Energy, Environment, Safety and Railways Centric scheme. And this was a special one this year because we had the energy environmental, so this focus of the meeting is railway centric scheme. So happy birthday. So now I'd like to invite our chief guest, Mr. R.N. Mishra. He's the Additional Director General of RDSO, to give a welcome. Before doing that, let's give a souvenir, which is the book of abstract to our guests over here. Okay, and now I invite Dr. Anurag Gautam to invite our chief guest, introduce our chief guest, R.N. Mishra, Additional Director General, RDSO.
Mr. R.N. Mishra, Additional Director General RDSO. He has been working in railways his long innings here. He comes from the esteemed SCRA scheme 1975 batch, and he has worked in various capacities including RDSO, Southern Railway, Wheel and Axle Plant, and TLW. He has been technically involved in developing control systems for the engine test, for the vehicle test vehicles, and he is presently also looking after as the Senior Executive Director of Engine Development Directorate. I now welcome Mr. Mishra to give the opening speech. Thank you.
Good morning. Dr. Akshay Ranchal, Dr. Ashok Pandey, Professor A.K. Chaturvedi, Dr. Nash Agarwal, Dr. Ashwini Gupta, Dr. Gautam, delegates, speakers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Indian Railways began its journey in 1857 when the first train ran from Mumbai to Thane, a distance of about 34 kilometers. Today, we run trains over more than 70,000 kilometers of track. For this, Indian Railways burns about 3 billion liters of diesel in diesel locomotives per year. And this is only 3 to 4% of the total diesel consumed in the country. Add to this the burning of diesel in road vehicles, gensets, burning of other fuels, coal, etc. And what do we have? A huge quantity of polluting gases overwhelming our atmosphere. While we are not over the threshold yet, we are close to it. In other words, if we don't take action now, we will find ourselves heading into a catastrophe. Who will take this action and how? That is the question. Well, the answer is all of us. The government or the administration alone cannot do this, not even the judiciary. They all can be enablers, but it is incumbent upon all of us to take action now. In this context, the role of organizations such as International Society for Energy, Environment and Sustainability becomes critical. We have to spread awareness amongst people about environment, motivate them to be more environmentally conscious, and develop technologies for sustainable development. We cannot wish away development, and so we have to find a balance. Railways in India, being a large and very visible institution, it also devolves upon us to develop most efficient technologies for our diesel locomotives. This workshop, therefore, on railway-centric theme is very timely and will go a long way in making railways environmentally friendly. Today, I feel quite humble in the middle of this august and distinguished gathering. We have experts from all over the world to discuss sustainable energy, environment, and safety. I am sure we in the railways will have a huge takeaway from this workshop, and certainly many others will also benefit from this. I wish this workshop all success. Thank you.
Now I ask our President, Dr. Ranchal, and Professor Pandey, and Professor Agarwal to give a mentor to our chief guest, Dr. R.N. Mishra. Now I invite our President of the Society, Dr. Akshay Ranchal, and to give an opening remark because we've seen the welcome reception from the Minister of Railways Vice. So, Dr. Ranchal.
People who have done the hard work, and thanks to all of you that makes it possible. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the society, its objectives, and its achievements so far. I'm afraid there is no projector here, so I'll just you can download this presentation if you like, a little bit about it. So basically, the origins of this conference go down to a DRDO mission to evaluate the combustion technology. Actually, originally, energy came later. To 2004, when I'd gone around most of the country, most of the leading institutes to see what the state of combustion was in India and in these combustion sciences in 2004. And it turned out that there was a dire need to bring India to the international level. Following that, the first conference workshop was organized by DRDL in Hyderabad in 2005 to start active combustion research in India, or to make it a distinct and identifiable field of activity. The second conference was then organized in Jadavpur, and the third one in IIT Kanpur in 2008, and then again in IIT Kanpur in 2010 as part of the Golden Jubilee celebrations. At that time, the scope of the conference was expanded to include energy in a generic field sense, rather than just combustion, which is a part of that. Fifth conference also occurred at IIT Kanpur, then the sixth one at Jadavpur, and I think some of our Jadavpur participants are here. They had organized it, and this is the seventh in a series which we are doing for the first time with a non-DRDO, with a non-defense, with the rights and with the railways, and thanks goes to Mr. Gordon for organizing that. So in 2010 we decided to expand the scope from combustion to energy, and with focus on sustainability and environment. So formally then a society was launched from IIT Kanpur as a base in 2014, and it was registered under the Indian Society Act. I believe that happened in 2016, right? We completed the process in 2016. And IITK is its permanent secretariat, and thanks for the support from IITK. We know that we and we now propose to have annual meetings, and with alternate, our ideal situation would be to have alternate venues. So maybe the 8th one could be in Austria, or could be in Thailand, or anywhere else. We're looking for opportunities to expand both the scope internationally as well as nationally. So the highlights of the 2015 so far, since we started 2014 launch, is we launched a monograph. I don't know if somebody can hold up a copy of the monograph. It will have a copy of the monograph somewhere. It will be given. It will be launched, and this was launched as part of the 6th workshop proceedings, and we already had like 11,000 downloads in first 3 months. Is that correct? So it was done in association with I believe, right? And so another manuscript will be launched after this. So that was one major achievement. And the second major achievement in the last year has been a launching of the ISEES journal, which is called JEES, J-E-E-S. And so that journal also would be launched and shown. So you'll have a copy of that. And then the third achievement of the year was this workshop in association with the RISE. So what are the goals of the workshop of the ISEES? The goal is to focus on energy and energy processes, but those with minimal environmental impact and sustainability. They have to be long-term sustainable, they have to impact minimally, and they have to relate to that. So that is the focus of the ISEES. To encourage events, publications, dissemination of knowledge related to sustainable energy initiatives, whether they be in railways, they be in defense, they be in civil application, they be in power generation. So that part would be all included. And then to inform the public, stakeholders, and the policymakers that the energy initiative should be done, but with these two very important considerations: sustainability and environmental impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ranchal. I think you can see the message is becoming more and more clear. Number one, the energy issue, and it's a common global village issue, not a local issue in India. And I think the launch of the International Society of Energy and Environment Sustainability was very timely, very efficient, and very profitable and knowledgeable too for all of us in this global village. And that message was very clear from the railway Centric scheme, because the energy in the railways is also very important. So I think our chief guest has already mentioned this, the railways, how much oil do we use, how much fuel do we use, how much so it's an international issue. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Agarwal to introduce the Deputy Director, the honored guest, Dr. Chaturvedi, to the podium. Dr. Agarwal.
It's my pleasure and honor to introduce Deputy Director of IIT Kanpur, Professor Ajit Chaturvedi. Professor Chaturvedi has been an excellent teacher, and we all are very proud of his professional achievements, his administrative skills, and his vision. And we are very proud to have you here, sir. Thank you very much for coming. And Professor Chaturvedi joined IIT Kanpur in 1998. Before that, he was at IIT Roorkee. And Professor Chaturvedi was Head of Electrical Engineering at IIT Kanpur. And then now currently he became the Dean of Research and Development. And his term as Dean of Research and Development was a very exceptional tenure. And I think IIT Kanpur has never seen such a positive, forward-looking Dean of Research and Development. Under his tenure, IIT Kanpur research really took new heights. Currently, he is Deputy Director, and we are very privileged to have you here, sir. So on behalf of ISEES and on behalf of RISE, I would like to invite you to say a few words. Thank you.
Distinguished dignitaries on the dais and participants to this workshop, it's a pleasure to be present here on this occasion, because when ISEES, the International Society for Energy, Environment and Sustainability, was taking its first baby steps, I had occasion to interact with Professor Avinash Agarwal, Professor Ajit Koshari, and of course Dr. Akshay Rinchal very often, so that it can sort of take very firm steps, even if they were the baby steps. So that gives me great amount of pleasure that today I am seeing the 7th workshop organized by ISEES on sustainable energy, environment and safety to a railway-centric theme. I hope that this series of workshops will keep on going bigger and bigger. The participation, global participation and national participation will of course become more and more vigorous and more impactful, and the themes that we choose will be relevant to public utilities and society in general. With the leadership provided by academicians from across the globe, and of course the sustained involvement of Dr. Runchal and Dr. Agarwal, I am sure that these goals will be met. Coming to RDSO is always a matter of pleasure for me, because I have attended several meetings involving the Central Board of Railway Research. And so I am sure that whatever is being discussed in this workshop will get an opportunity to get presented in the forthcoming CBRR meeting. And maybe railways will have an opportunity to examine how this workshop and the results presented here can be of use to RDSO or to railway in general. Apart from CBRR, I had also one more very happy event to be here, and that was when Professor Avinash Agarwal's group was involved in the launching and designing of the electronic fuel injection for diesel locomotives. And this is very central to the theme here, because by using electronic fuel injection technology, it was shown that the diesel consumption can be brought down. And if diesel consumption can be brought down in a utility as vast as railways, it will have a big impact both on the country's economy as well as the environment. I wish this workshop a great success, but before I close, I have some good news to share with the RDSO people here, with my own colleagues at IIT Kanpur and all well-wishers of IIT Kanpur, that tomorrow evening we are going to sign an MOU with the Ministry of Railways for the setting up of the Center for Railway Research at IIT Kanpur. So this is the best occasion when I can share this news with all of you. With the setting up of the center, we hope that our engagement will only deeper. Of course, we have been working together for quite some time, but this will provide a platform where our engagement can become deeper and more impactful. I wish this workshop a great success. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chaturvedi, for the nice remarks. And you can see it that, again, the energy issue, working together, I think we can all grow. And this is just one aspect of looking at how they can be. So now I'd like to invite our president, Dr. Agarwal, and Ashok Pandey to give a mentor to our honored guest, Dr. Chaturvedi, and Deputy Director of IIT Kanpur. As our president mentioned, that Dr. Anchal, that we have launched a new journal which started, and it was all under the leadership of Dr. Pandey. So I'd like to invite Dr. Pandey to the podium to introduce the introduction of the journal of energy, environmental, and sustainability. Dr. Pandey.
Good morning to everyone. As you have heard, the issue related with energy and environment is one of the very critical keywords identified globally. It recalls me to share with you a recent UN survey carried out on human growth, civilization, planet, and survival of mankind, 2050 and 2100 years. And then this survey identified sustainability as the most important keyword. And on further analysis, what comes out is the energy and environment ranking second together. So the society, the launch of society, international society has been very timely, and the society, its executive committee and the members, after a lot of deliberations and discussion, decided to establish and launch the journal, that is Journal of Energy and Environmental Sustainability. Journal will be released now. It is managed by an international group of editors and editorial board. To begin with, journal is planned to publish 2 issues every year. The journal is published by International Society, which is a legal entity registered under Professional Societies Act of Government of India. And so is the journal. It has been registered with the ISEES India. We are also trying to see if we could register with the DOI, Digital Object Identifier, so as to attain its high level. Journal has Professor Avinash Agarwal as its editor-in-chief, and as I mentioned that from different countries there are members supporting the editorial process. Every manuscript is peer-reviewed by at least 2 reviewers, and it is a single-blind review process where the reviewers know the authors, but the authors do not know who has reviewed it. And based on the review process, a decision is made. So it is as good as any one of the top international journals in the process of its review process and as the editorial board is concerned. We invite all of you, some of you might have already seen the flyer which is given to you in your registration kit, and submission is at the moment by email. The entire process is electronic through email. Now I request Professor Avinash Agarwal to present a copy of the journal to the dignitaries on the dais to release it. Thank you. I invite all the participants, invited speakers and contributors. I invite all of you who are presenting papers as invited speakers or as postal participant or otherwise oral presentation to submit your manuscript to the journal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Pandey. I'd like to add two things before we give the memento to you. As Dr. Pandey said, that this journal is really the first product that you see of the society. And I can add, a nation shall rise and fall, a human will be born and die, but knowledge will never die, it will stay good forever. So that's really what this is contributing to. Knowledge which will remain forever, which is in archival form. Thank you, Dr. Pandey, for launching this journal and all your dedicated efforts, which has made this to happen in reality. Thank you. So now I'd like to invite Dr. Agarwal to give a mentor to, and the president of the society to give a mentor to Dr. Pandey. So now I'd like to invite Dr. Agarwal, who is the Secretary of the ISEES, to give the Fellows Award, Young Scientist Award, and the Best Cases Award. Dr. Agarwal.
Thank you, Professor Gupta. But before we do the award, we start the award ceremony, I would also like to request the dignitaries on dais to release the monograph that we have published. But before that, I would like to just give you genesis of that monograph. I think this year in January, we had a very fascinating workshop in Jadavpur University. Thanks to Dr. Achintya Mukhopadhyay and Dr. Swarnendu Hussain. They did a fantastic job of hosting. Let's clap for them. And outcome of the technical deliberations that took place in Jadavpur University, we got 23 contributions for this monograph, which were peer reviewed, and then we got them published. The publisher is Athena from UK, and this monograph will be released today. So may I have the monograph for the release? May I request all the dignitaries in dais to please release the monograph. Thank you, sirs. You know, this is the first time in this workshop we are doing this experiment of having two parallel sessions. So far in all the workshops, we have got only one session, but this time it's a railway-centric theme, and we have got enthusiastic response from the railway lovers and railway technologists, and therefore we decided that we will have one parallel session, one parallel track on railway technology. And therefore, I would request all the people from RDSO to participate actively in the workshop and participate in railway technology themes. I would also take this opportunity to announce that this year, instead of one monograph, we will be doing two monographs. One will be on railway technology, railway-centric technologies, and the other one will be regular monograph. So I would like to also invite all of you to contribute technically to the monographs which we are going to publish and release in the next workshop or conference, whatever we may have. So that's all about the monograph from my side. Now I would like to introduce the awards that are being given away today. Last year we decided that we will give away the Young Scientist Award in order to encourage the young engineers and scientists who are working in the area of energy and they are making a mark on it. So we decided to give away 2 awards every year to young scientists, and nominations were sought. I'll tell you about the procedure. The nominations were sought for these awards, and then their best papers were also sought from them. And then the package was sent for review to 10 independent reviewers, and we got the feedback from those reviewers. And based on that, the awards were decided in a very, very transparent manner. So this year I'm very happy to announce that the 2 awards winners are, one is Dr. Atul Dhar from Assistant Professor IIT Mandi, and the second award winner is Dr. Rakesh Kumar Maurya, Assistant Professor in IIT Ropar. I would like to now request President, Vice President ISEES to give away the award to Dr. Atul Dhar. May I now invite Dr. Atul Dhar. I would also read the citation for the Young Scientist Award. The award says, International Society for Energy, Environment and Sustainability bestows Young Scientist Award 2015 of the Society on Professor Atul Dhar, Assistant Professor, School of Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Mandi, Himachal Pradesh, for his excellent scientific contributions in the area of alternate fuels and IC engines. Dr. Dhar has made valuable contributions in the area of alternative fuels, engine emission control, engine management, combustion diagnostics, particulate characterization, long-term engine wear and durability investigation, and lubricating oil tribology. He has published over 30 peer-reviewed scientific papers and a book chapter. He was awarded prestigious Erasmus Mundus postdoctoral fellowship to work at École Centrale de Nantes in Nantes, France. We hereby confer the ISEES Young Scientist Award 2015 on Professor Atul Dhar. Dr. Atul Dhar is here, but Dr. Rakesh Kumar Maurya could not be here, so I think we will confer his award in absentia, but I'll still go ahead and read his citation. The citation for the award to Dr. Rakesh Kumar Maurya reads as, International Society for Energy, Environment and Sustainability bestows Young Scientist Award of the Society on Dr. Rakesh Kumar Maurya, Assistant Professor, School of Mechanical Materials and Energy Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Ropar, Punjab, for his excellent scientific contributions in the area of HCCI engine development and alternative fuels. Dr. Maurya has made valuable contributions in the area of HCCI and low temperature combustion, alternative fuels, engine emission control, engine instrumentation and combustion diagnostics, and particulate characterization. He has published over 20 scientific journal papers and 10 international conference papers. He worked as a pool scientist of CSIR at ERL IIT Kanpur. We hereby confer the ISEES Young Scientist Award 2015 on Professor Rakesh Kumar Maurya. Now we would like to give away the Best Thesis Awards. I would just like to tell you about the procedure. We invited the best thesis for Masters and PhD from the members of the society, and nominations were made. The thesis in soft copy were also sent by the nominators. Again, they were sent to about 10 reviewers for independent review. We try to make sure that there is no conflict of interest. That means the supervisors and people known to the supervisors were not really invited to give comments. These were very independent reviews, and based on the reviews, we chose the awardees. So the first award, PhD Thesis Award, goes to Mr. Ravel Singh of IIT Dehradun. He is not here. And the second award for Best PhD Thesis also goes to Dr. Siluso Ibrahim from University of Maryland, USA, and unfortunately he is also not here. The third award, the Master's Thesis, Best Thesis Award, goes to Yeshudas Giotode from IIT Kanpur. He's also not here. And the second award goes to Suresh Kadekar. Unfortunately, he is also not here. So all these awards are being given away in absentia. So this is all about the ISEES Best Thesis Award. The next category of recognitions is the Fellows Award. As you know that we started the Fellows Award in 2013, and the first set of fellows, there were 5 very distinguished people who were in the first set of fellows, and most of them are fortunately in the audience or on the dais today. The second set of fellows, there were 6 fellows made in next year, that is 2014. This year, the society has chosen 5 fellows, and for this also there was a formal procedure this time. We followed the procedure which is followed in by ASME as a template. So again, for fellows selection, there was a deadline, and anybody who is a member, anybody who is a fellow or executive committee member could nominate the fellow, and then supporting documents were to be submitted. And there was a committee comprising of former fellows as well as the executive committee who have the right to vote for the fellows and grade them. And so such inputs were taken from the committee of fellows as well as from the executive committee, and based on that these 5 fellows were chosen. So now I would like to announce the first fellow for this year. The first fellow recognition is bestowed on Professor Ernst Wintner. Can I have you here, sir? May I request our President and Vice President, sir, to come on stage to honor Professor Wintner. As a part of this recognition, we give away a plaque and a citation. I would like to read the citation. The citation for Professor Ernst Wintner reads as: International Society for Energy, Environment and Sustainability bestows fellow grade of membership of the Society on Professor Ernst Wintner, Technical University of Vienna in Austria, for his exceptional scientific and professional contributions in the area of nonlinear optics, fiber optic sensors, solid-state lasers, ultra-short pulse generation, and laser ignition of the engines, and for his extraordinary qualifications, experience, and scientific accomplishments in the field of energy, environment, and sustainability. Professor Wintner was Professor of Laser Technology at Photonics Institute of Technical University of Vienna and was promoted to honorary full professor in this university. He founded one of the first research groups in the field of laser ignition worldwide in 1999. His efforts towards the development and implementation of laser ignition in internal combustion engines are remarkable. He has submitted a large number of patents related to laser source for ignition, laser windows, and multi-point ignition. Professor Wintner served as editor of several journals and for the European Quantum Electronics Division of the EPS. He has published over 250 technical papers and 4 book chapters during his illustrious research career. He is the recipient of Wolfgang Huska Award 2015, AMA Prize 2013, Dr. Wolfgang Huska Award 2008, and BMW Award 2007. May I request Professor Wintner to give an acceptance speech?
I would like to express my appreciation for this great honor, and I have to say it was my pleasure and my dedication to come back to India already now, I think for the 6th or 7th time. And I also had the honor to be a visiting professor at IIT Kanpur 2 years ago. And in this context, it was possible to implement modern laser technology in the engine lab of Professor Agarwal. And so I had to quit my job because retirement in my country is compulsory at 65. But I see that my work and the spirit of my work is continued in India, and I'm very proud about that. Thank you.
Now we would like to recognize Professor S. Venkat Mohan. May I request him to come on stage, and may I request the President and Vice President to honor him. The citation, I would also like to read the citation for Professor S. Venkat Mohan. Dr. S. Venkat Mohan. International Society for Energy, Environment and Sustainability bestows fellow grade of membership of the Society on Dr. S. Venkat Mohan, Principal Scientist, CSIR, Indian Institute of Chemical Technology, Hyderabad, India, for his exceptional scientific and professional contributions in the area of environmental bioengineering, renewable fuels, waste bioenergy, advanced wastewater treatment, and for his extraordinary qualifications, experience, and scientific accomplishments in the field of energy, environment, and sustainability. Dr. Mohan has made outstanding contributions by developing a new pathway for waste remediation and environmental protection. He established a link between waste remediation and renewable biofuel generation, thus accounting for a paradigm shift from waste as an environmental pollutant to waste as well. Dr. Mohan has published over 250 journal articles, 8 cover page articles, 29 book chapters, and 9 review articles. He also holds 8 patents. Dr. Mohan was awarded Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize 2015, National Bioscience Award 2012, Prosper.net Scopus Young Researcher Award in Sustainable Development 2010, NASI Scopus Young Scientist Award 2010. Dr. Mohan is an elected fellow of INAE, FIEI, Andhra Pradesh Telangana Academy of Science, and Alexander von Humboldt Foundation. It's a pleasure for us to bestow this honor on Dr. S. Venkat Mohan. I now request Dr. Mohan to give an acceptance speech.
It's a pleasure and honor to be bestowed with fellowship of International Energy, Environment and Sustainability. I have been working for past 15 years on various aspects of waste to energy, and I feel elated to be selected for this prestigious fellowship, and this will help me to sustain, to do more research in this area. And I would like to say that I will be associated with whatever contribution I will be doing with the association. I will be very happy to do that. Thank you very much.
I would now like to call upon Dr. Ryo Hamano from University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee, to please come on stage. I would also like to request our President and Vice President to honor Professor Amano by the fellowship, and I would like to read his citation. The citation reads as, International Society for Energy, Environment and Sustainability bestows fellow grade of membership of the Society on Professor Ryo S. Amano, Department of Mechanical Engineering, University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee, USA, for his exceptional scientific and professional contributions in the area of clean energy production from wind, biomass, hydro, and low-grade fuels using rigorous modeling and experiments, and for his extraordinary qualifications, experience, and scientific accomplishments in the field of energy, environment, and sustainability. Dr. Amano has been very active in development of next-generation novel energy systems for gas turbines based conventional energy production systems as well as renewable energy production systems. He has contributed to the development of turbulence theories, combustion, heat transfer, propulsion, aerodynamics, and applications of gas turbines. He has been engaged in aerospace research for NASA, US Air Force, industrial gas turbines, steam turbines, and cooling technology. He has published over 600 technical papers, 4 books, 24 book chapters in his illustrious career. Dr. Amano was elected as a Fellow of ASME in 2001 and Associate Fellow of AIAA in 2002. ISEES is very proud to confer the fellowship on Dr. Amano. May I now request Professor Amano to give the acceptance speech.
Well, this is my great pleasure and also very honored. Thank you very much, Dr. Agarwal, and also the executive committee members of ISEES. This is actually the second time to come to this country. 2 years ago, I was here, and also this is the second time. Actually, during this busy time, I was kind of hesitant to come here, but because of Dr. Gupta really strongly encouraged me to come here, also with my students, so I decided to come. I have been working on the energy systems and also some water researches and doing a lot of environmental effort. But I'm finding more friends in this conference, and I would like to keep collaboration between India, United States, and also many other different countries. And I would like to keep continuing. Thank you very much.
I would like to request President and Vice President to give away the award to on behalf, for Dr. Satish Kumar, and I would like to thank his colleague to accept it on his behalf. The citation of Dr. Satish Kumar reads as follows. International Society for Energy, Environment and Sustainability bestows fellow grade of membership of the Society on Dr. Satish Kumar, Director General, Missile Systems, DRDO, India, for his exceptional scientific and professional contributions in the area of propulsion, energy and power, and for his extraordinary qualifications, experience and scientific accomplishments in the field of energy, environment and sustainability. Dr. Kumar is a distinguished aerospace scientist, and his outstanding contributions to the missile and strategic system development. He has unique distinction of leading important strategic establishments over a decade and for laying the foundation of futuristic technological growth in critical areas. Dr. Satish Kumar has contributed to the development of liquid propellant rocket engines and Prithvi missile, productionization of highly complex LP engines at HAL, development of propellant transfer systems and storage facility at various forward army locations. He has published over 40 research papers and holds 2 patents obtained in US, China, Russia, and India. Dr. Satish Kumar was conferred Technology Award by Ministry of Defense, Prime Minister's Special Award for Development of Strategic Weapons, and Performance Excellence Award by DRDO. He is an elected Fellow of Aeronautical Society of India, Society for Shockwave Research India, and life member of Astronautical Society of India and Combustion Institute India. So ISEES is very happy to confer this award on Dr. Satish Kumar. Unfortunately, because of some reasons, Dr. Satish Kumar could not come, but he has sent a message which I would like to read here. So he has written, my heartiest congratulations to you and ISEES team for organizing this workshop with the participation of RICE, Ministry of Railways, University of Maryland, University of Illinois, USA. I am sure the workshop will provide a platform for magnanimous scientific exchange of information among scientists from the international scientific community worldwide, and will have several tailored technical tracks with presentations from renowned technical experts in the field of current and future activities. I express my sincere thanks and gratitude to the Society for bestowing the fellowship on me. I hereby accept the fellowship of the ISEES Society. In spite of my best efforts to attend the workshop, I am extremely sorry to convey my inability to be amongst the distinguished members of ISEES, as there are unavoidable series of meetings involving discussions with various foreign dignitaries, DRDO laboratories and high-ranking officials of Ministry of Defense lined up during the week when the workshop is being held. Unfortunately, the workshop will also be coinciding with the Parliament session, and my presence in Delhi during the Parliament session is essential. I would have been very much heartened to meet all the delegates at the workshop and benefited by the discussion and interaction in wide spectrum of topics. DRDO has been greatly benefited by the workshops conducted by the Society, especially in the area of hypersonic propulsion, gas turbine combustion, related issues and new fuel development. I am sure in future also the association of ISEES and DRDO will become stronger. I also feel some short courses symposium may be organized by the Society for the benefit of engineers, scientists from DRDO working in these areas. I convey my all the best wishes for the event and hope the same will be a grand success, achieving the scope and objectives targeted by the organizing committee of ISEES. With best regards, Dr. Satish Kumar.
Okay, Dr. Agarwal mentioned there are 5 awardees this year, the fellow grade, and I'll introduce the first recipient. If I read the citation of the 5th one, I'm afraid that it might take till 5 p.m. this afternoon. So I'm not going to do that because the accomplishments are just superb. So the first fellow who is elected this year is Dr. Avinash Kumar Agarwal from IIT Kanpur. The International Society for Energy, Environment, Sustainability bestows fellow grade of membership of the Society on Professor Agarwal, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, India, for his exceptional scientific and professional contributions in the area of internal combustion engine, emissions, laser diagnostic, lubricant, oil and tribology, alternative fuels, exhaust gas after treatment technology, and his extraordinary qualification, experience, scientific accomplishments in the area of energy, environment, and sustainability. Professor Agarwal has carried out both experimental and fundamental work as well as innovative industrially relevant research in the area of IC engines, fuels, and emission control. He developed a low-cost biodiesel pilot plant and carried out field testing of biodiesel fuel SUV to demonstrate application of biofuel on modern engines. Professor Agarwal also developed a prototype of electronic fuel injection, so-called the EFI system, for all Alco DLW locomotives. So you can see the application where the big saving comes in. This man always believed in big things, not just a small thing. You can see the meetings over here too. And Professor Agarwal has published a record number of publications, archival publications, 125 peer-reviewed journals, and if I list the conference papers, I think I'll keep on talking, and several edited books. He's an elected fellow of Indian National Academy, which was this year, I believe, American Society of Mechanical Engineers, 2013, Society of Automotive Engineers International in 2012. He received several prestigious awards such as the NASI, the Reliant Industries Platinum Jubilee Award in 2012, INA Silver Jubilee Young Engineer Award, and SAE Lord Teacher Award in 2008, INSA Young Scientist Award 2007, UICT Young Scientist Award in 2007, INA Young Engineers Award in 2005. And Dr. Agarwal, congratulations. That's the highest honor which a society can bestow to an engineer, and so many congratulations. So now I invite Dr. Agarwal to say a few words.
Thank you, Professor Gupta. It was a big dilemma for me. I have no words to speak on this occasion. I'm completely overwhelmed to be in the company of previous fellows who have had illustrious careers themselves. I don't think I'm really worthy of this award, but Professor Gupta was very kind enough to push me, and he nominated me. So thank you, Professor Gupta. I'm really very thankful to you. And I'm also really very thankful to the executive committee and fellows of the society who thought that I may be partially worthy of this award. So thank you all. And I would like to dedicate this award and this recognition on none other than my students. I think students do all the hard work, and professors like me get all the credit. So my special dedication to all my students and my staff who have done an exceedingly well work in last 15 years. They have been with me together in thick and thin of life, and they have stood like rock, and they have supported me, and I'm really grateful to my students and staff. So thank you very much. Thank you.
As you can see, Dr. Agarwal is always a very humble man. He is a demonstrated top-notch researcher, both at the fundamental level and applied level. And so let me give a thank and congratulations to all the award recipients, 5 fellows, 2 individuals for the Best Thesis Award, 2 individuals for the Masters and PhD both. So let's give a hand and clap to all the fellows this year. So before I finish, it's not an agenda item. I think you heard the message. This recognition of the fellow grade, it comes after you become a member. So if you're not a member, please do become a member. That's very important. It's your society. It's not IIT Society or the Indian Railway Society. It's your society. So become a member. It's fairly easy. If you don't know the procedure, come by, see me or anybody on the front table here, or visit the website. We'll be more than happy to tell you. I think the growth of the society, contribution of the society is a good opportunity to provide the networking opportunities and see what things are done. And the second thing I'd like to pitch in is the monograph, research monograph, as you heard from Professor Agarwal, that we had a large number of downloads for the book, over 11,000 in the first 3 months. So that shows that the value of this monograph is really very, very deep, very much welcome. And this year, which is just appeared today, actually a few days ago, a couple of days ago, and we'll see the downloads of this thing is also expected to be very, very good. And I also like to invite all the authors who are contributing this time to write their papers, and you'll see get the guideline to contribute a chapter. So we'll have 2 volumes, as Dr. Agarwal said, and I think that's so. Let's give a thank to all the organizers, all the folks here at the head table, and I'd like to invite Gautam to come and say a few words about the arrangement what he has for the visit to our yes. Right.
Thank you, Professor Gupta, for very meticulously and beautifully conducting this whole event. First of all, I would like to thank Chief Guest, Mr. Arvind Mishra, for sparing his valuable time and grace this occasion. I'd like to thank Professor Chaturvedi from IIT Kanpur that he could find time and contribute in this workshop. I'd like to thank Professor Ranchal, who has come all the way from US, and he has been very actively pursuing the organization of this workshop as well as in other matters. Professor Pandey, who has been the guiding spirit behind launching of the journals, the monographs, and almost on a daily basis he has been interacting with the authors and all the members and connecting us, directing us for these articles. Professor Avinash Agrawal, who has motivated us to reach this, and he has been constantly from, I think it's a minute-to-minute program with him every day. And of course, I'll thank all the members here in the audience who have taken out time to be part of this, from our DSO, from RITES, overseas delegations, and all the distinguished guests, friends. Thanks and hope we will carry this forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anirudh, for making excellent arrangements, and ISEES really values your contributions and your initiative to host this event at RDSO and for making it possible. So I think all of us are in one side. You are our face, and you have really made it happen. So let us clap for Dr. Inaugural. It's my duty to propose another vote of thanks on behalf of the society. So first of all, I would like to thank Director General of RDSO and Director IIT Kanpur for allowing us to organize and host this event in RDSO and be the co-organizers of this event. I would like to also acknowledge my appreciation to our chief guest, Shri R.N. Mishra, Additional Director General of RDSO, and also to Professor Ajit Chaturvedi, Deputy Director of IIT Kanpur, who have really taken out time and traveled. Dr. Chaturvedi has traveled from Kanpur to Lucknow to be a part of this event. They are really busy people, and they have taken out time. So we would like to acknowledge their time and effort to be a part of this event. I would like to acknowledge RIGHTS for being the main sponsor of this event. As you can see, we have got very generous support from several people. I would like to acknowledge the support we have received from NSF, National Science Foundation, which has made it possible for some of the delegates to travel from US to India. I would also like to acknowledge the support from Office of Naval Research, ONR Global, which has supported the travel for some of the people from overseas, other than US, to come to India and participate in this workshop. This workshop is also supported generously by DRDO, and there are several delegates here, so I would like to acknowledge DRDO for their generous support. I would like to acknowledge the support we received from Department of Science and Technology. These are our gold sponsors. Then TSI and Bosch are our silver sponsors. And then we have a lot of bronze sponsors. I would like to say that CEI, ESI, Dynamark, AVL, so they have also contributed to financially to organize this event, which has made it possible. You have seen that for at least one day, we are trying to take care of all the events and everything is working like a clockwork. There's a lot of hard work that has gone in making it happen. And I would like to say that all the students and the staff of all the students at IIT Kanpur and the staff members who are working with Dr. Gautam, they have made it possible. So I would like to acknowledge the hard work put in by each one of them. I would like to especially mention the hard work done by Sujit and Akhilendra in planning this, in executing this in a very seamless manner. I would like to also acknowledge the support I received from Dr. Ranchal, our President, Professor Ashok Pandey, our Vice President, Dr. Ashwini Gupta, Dr. Suresh Agarwal, Dr. Abhijit Tushari, and Dr. Anirudh Gautam. We have had, you will not believe, we have had every week teleconferences for last 3 to 4 months, and the conferences will go on for 1 hour, 2 hours, and every detail is threshed out, and then everything is planned accordingly. I would like to acknowledge all the participants. Many of you have traveled from different parts of the world. You have had long flights, and some of you are quite tired because of long journeys. I would like to really appreciate your coming here and participating in this workshop and being a part of it. Without you, this event will probably not happen. So, and I know that there are many hiccups that I have had in picking up people and messing up with dates. of when to pick up. So I would like to apologize if there is a mistake. Kindly excuse us. We are all imperfect human beings. Try to do things, but still some mistakes happen. So I hope you will pardon us for that. There are many other people who are involved in organizing such events. We have hired an event manager, Dreams Conference, who is responsible for the accommodation. He's taking care of the accommodation. So I would like to acknowledge the work done by him. We have the audio video team from IIT Kanpur, which will cover this event for 3 days. I would like to acknowledge the media center for coming here, taking 3 days out, doing all the work here. I would like to acknowledge the RDSO staff, ERL staff, and also the hotel staff and the staff of this auditorium who have put in a great effort to make it happen. So if I have missed anyone, I would like to acknowledge each and every person who has helped me and Dr. Gautam in organizing this. And I would like to thank you all for your support, one and all. I would like to give away just one special token of our appreciation to Dr. Gautam for all the hard work that he has put in.
Thank you, Professor Agrawal. Now we are at the end of the session. I'll invite all the participants to this workshop. There's a high tea organized outside the lawns. So please join us for the high tea. Thank you.